Yay! I get to introduce this incredible woman who is probably the most outspoken sexually person I've ever met and have had the pleasure of meeting. She is a true gift. Her name is Courtney Kocak, and she hosts Private Parts Unknown, a podcast that talks about sexual experiences and being open with your sexuality. And she also has a bunch of cool stuff that we're going to go into. Hi.
Yay!
Hey guys,
Hello.
welcome, Courtney. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Wait, Courtney, did I pronounce your last name right, or did I do a
Kocak?
horrible
I think
job?
you
Please need to
did.
correct me if I did.
I
It's
think you did.
Kocak? Oh.
Okay,
Oh, what
thank
did
you.
she say?
Wow.
Yeah, I
No,
think she did it.
I think she said it right. I think
Yeah.
I probably said it wrong before, so.
You guys, what about Field of Dreams and Children of the Corn?
Oh,
Oh,
I like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Oh.
Build it,
Just wanted
they
to
will
toss one
count.
in.
As long as Kevin Costner lives, I'm totally in.
If you have a broken auto
Copy.
shop, they will come.
That's right, Linda Hamilton.
But we
awesome.
definitely want it. So, Courtney, I'm gonna just do a really brief thing because in reality, you're a spectacular character that is more than I could explain.
Oh my God, what an intro too. She's like the most sexual being, and I'm just sitting here in my t-shirt like, what's up?
Okay. Let me give you guys a backstory. I met Courtney through a stand-up class that we took together, okay? The jokes that Courtney told on stage were, okay, I'm raunchy. Courtney's level of raunchy was like, God damn, girl.
I feel like, Stacey, you really take the cake, but I'm honored.
But she is so talented and so good. But the reality is, you're so open with your sexuality, which is something that a lot of women feel timid about. What is your perception on that? Why do you think women should continue being timid? Do you think people should be more outspoken about it?
I feel like everyone has a personal journey with it, right? Because there's so much shame that we get early on, just like when you're just being a little child person and you're figuring it all out. And then someone tells you, don't touch yourself there, or like, whatever. And then you start to have all these bad connotations, right? And then you get older and maybe you have sexual experiences, and now, thank God, we have like a better language about consent. But, when I was growing up, we didn't really have that. And so, then you add up all those kind of sexual experiences that happen. And then you've got some trauma that you have to unpack, or at least I did. Mm-hmm. And so I think, in my like late 20s, I'm 36 right now, but in, my early 30s, I really started like getting in touch with my body and my desires, not my partner's desires. And I have a podcast about it. So it just led me down this whole path that I never even anticipated going, but it's been amazing.
Okay, so this is where I'm going to tell everyone to pay very close attention. Okay, we're going to have a Q&A, but if you guys have questions for Courtney, you definitely can. Courtney not only has her podcast, which is, again, under there. You guys can definitely check it out. She also helps run the Bella Twins podcast, and she has another additional podcast. So she is the queen of podcasts. But the great thing about Private Parts Unknown is she gets to talk about the fact that she got a happy ending in Tokyo.
Ooh,
true.
What happened? Like, how?
Yes. Okay. Valid question. Totally valid question. We went to Tokyo before early February, like when Corona was just a little speck in the future, that we didn't know was going to be this nightmare. We were like, should we be worried about this? we were like, no, we'll go. We just like took a mask in our bag. We're not being careful. But anyway, that's a side note. But we took this trip to Tokyo for the podcast to interview a bunch of locals and people with interesting perspectives on sexuality. We interviewed this really cool sex worker named Yuki and her friend Joe, who is actually from the States, but he lives in Tokyo now, and he studies subcultures. So they were a really great interview to do together. And who else did we talk to? Oh, we talked to Chris, who is a gay man who lives in Japan, and gay marriage is not legal there. And so it was really interesting to talk to him about that. And then we talked to Hiroko, who is this badass journalist. She's also in her 30s, just a super cool chick. And Marina, a girl who is half Japanese and half American. And in that cult, it's very interesting how they see that in Japan. Like, it is like a little bit of a second class. Like, it has certain privileges, and then it also, you're treated like a second class citizen. So anyway, fascinating perspectives. But at the end of Hiroko's interview, she was like, we were like, is there anything else we should know about, you know, sexuality in Tokyo? And she basically dared us, because earlier in the interview, she had told us about this feature that she'd done on this. It's called home health delivery. And that is it's basically where they bring they come to you with an erotic massage. And she told us about basically like 5,000 guys, Japanese guys, auditioned to be these dudes, to be the jerk off guys. And they were taught by, my co-host calls it the click commander, but I like to think of it as like a Mr. Miyagi of sensual massage. And so she'd already told us about this whole question. Do you have a question, Stacey?
Oh no, I was doing the wax on, wax off with.
Oh yes,
Totally.
totally.
He's doing the rub.
No. I was like, I will definitely hold for questions. So she told us about this. It sounded amazing, but like, we have partners. Our heads weren't even in this headspace. But then she dared us. She was like, you guys should get this service. And we were like, what? That sounds crazy. But then we were like, fuck, maybe we should. So my co-host called her husband and like asked for permission. And I texted my dude that I live with, my boyfriend, and also asked for permission. And we also played them a little bit. Like, we were like, Wade said it was okay. Max said it was okay. So, you know, to get the permission. But I don't think it was too shady. They were very cool with it. They gave us the go ahead. And so on our last night in Tokyo, our last night was a banger, you guys. We went to
a banger, literally, huh?
Literally a banger. We went to the Golden Guy, which is all these tiny little bars, and met this, and they all have like a very unique where I'm blanking on what they're called, but basically the barkeeps are all like, it's so much about their personality. So that was awesome. Then we went to this sex club in Ginza, and it was wild. It was like, there was rope play happening, and the ladies were like talking to us. You scantily clad, gorgeous women were like, kept refilling our drinks. We had no idea how drunk we were getting. And all this fetish shit is happening around us. And it was like a very sexy vibe. So then, we rushed back to our hotel, which, side note, the sex worker that we interviewed earlier was like, oh yeah, I take a lot of clients at the hotel that we were staying. And then we wound up being people that got sex paid for sex at that same hotel, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, on our last night, we took turns. Like, I waited in the lobby. I went first, and my co-host waited in the lobby, and then we switched. But it was amazing, you guys. It was so amazing. He was so sweet. We didn't speak each other's language, so like I had to type on Google Translate. I was like, I've never done this before. Show me how. So basically, how it goes is you each shower first. And then, so we took turns showering, and he had like a gift bag of sex toys. He was waiting for me at the door with a gift bag of sex toys.
That's awesome.
And then, it was so funny. And then we had our little Google Translate exchange. And then he spent a super limited amount of time on the actual massage. And admittedly, I was a little late, but still. And then they do this like kissing, sucking technique. That's like, they were definitely taught that by Mr. Miyagi. They were definitely taught how to do that. And it feels really fucking good. They should teach guys in America how to do that. And then, yeah, he like, this is what I was not expecting. Because oral sex is really intimate, right? So I didn't think that would even be something that we needed to address. I thought that was off the table. But he gets down and like does a couple kitten licks. Like, which I get. It's not like he's gonna fully go for it, you know? It's like he's a busy man. He's got a lot of clients. He can't be doing that with everyone. He would get tired. But I was like, whoa, I didn't ask my boyfriend about that part. I was like, okay, we're good. And then legit, I could have got a freebie. He would have definitely, he tried to have sex with me, which my co-host was like, oh, I can't believe he violated his professional code of conduct. And I was like, no, that is a coupon. That is like, he was trying to give me a discount. That was not, I was trying to pay for sex. It's not like he violated me. So anyway, I politely turned him down on that. And then he like jerked me off with a sex toy, which I can do a better job on myself. But it was so erotic that like this strange man who I'd never met before, we don't speak the same language, was like jerking me off. There's a full moon outside the window of the hotel. My best friend is downstairs. Like we just had this crazy night. Yeah, it was just crazy. And like what's so interesting about it is that it made me I know people who are actually polyamorous say this all the time, but it like made me love my boyfriend even more, or like appreciate, like it wasn't about him. Nothing in that situation was about him or like disrespecting him. And the fact that he just was cool enough to just let me do that, I thought was so dope.
It might have been different if there was more to it, and especially if when he did the kitten licks, he was giving some suction. That might have been a little more of a problem. Because I think a lot of guys don't know. Suction works also, so make sure you try that.
Okay, just an FYI, guys, Courtney is a person to watch because even Business Insider went ahead and featured this, okay? Business Insider.
They did.
Yes, Business Insider.
Maybe someday it'll be the New York Times, but right now we'll take Business Insider.
Plenty of people would take Business Insider.
That gives me, it makes me want to ask, do you think people are more open with their sexuality over there than here?
Okay, that's a really good question. This is what we sort of learned. And if you're listening and you're like, whoa, this sounds crazy, check out it's basically a 4-part series on Private Parts Unknown. You'll hear all the interviews and the details of this. But basically what we learned is that in America, we have like a very business inside her. Great joke, Nick.
we just did that one. 3 of us.
Did you? Oh, I missed it. Sorry.
Ba-dum-bum.
Good job, you guys. Then sorry.
Good job, all of us.
So wait, what was I? Oh, shame versus guilt. So we are like a shame-based society. So and they are like a guilt-based society. So like we are guilt-based. So we are guilt-based because of all the religion stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we feel guilty whether anybody finds out about our indiscretions or not. You know what I mean? We just have that like ingrained
Brainwash.
that it just sits with us, right? And it's kind of toxic in a way. And theirs is just about shame, which is problematic in its own way.
Right.
But like they'll do whatever. It's just like don't like be super open about it, and like as long as no one finds out, it's okay. Is kind of their MO, and they don't carry around the same like heaviness that kind of religion adds to it, or at least our culture based on.
Yeah.
So it's a little different in that way. But so yeah, there is like all this huge sex industry there. And I think it is because they have this like little bit of separation where it's like, as long as nobody finds out, it's cool.
So it's like Vegas. What
Yeah.
happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
It is like
Yeah.
Vegas. That should be their motto. Except it would be like Japanese characters.
Yeah, we're the Vegas of the East, and then Hello Kitty comes out and offers you a hand job.
Do you think that this should be something women should experience, like an Eat, Pray, Love type situation, but with whips and chains?
Listen, yeah, I feel like you should get your freak on. However, it is whatever turns you on, whatever you want to explore, you totally should. And we don't have this here. Like the way that works. I've heard of since then. We interviewed a local sex worker, and she talked about an erotic massage similar to this, but a little more. It's, I guess, more of like a yoni type massage, and that is something you can get in LA. But we don't have this like whole erotic part of it that is like sex for sale for women, really. So take a trip. Go to Japan. I normally wouldn't promote sex tourism, but these were very happy sex workers. They seemed very happy to be doing their jobs. So
sex tourism is totally okay if it's consensual.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No one's being trafficked, then it's like, yeah.
Right.
Gotta also explain what a yoni is, because I know what that is, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah, that is like the term for the pelvic work that they do.
Slang term. Well, yeah.
For vagina. Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it is used for the work that they do.
My wife didn't even know what that was. Yoni? What the
That sounds like a Pokemon to me. I don't know.
There was a big movement.
Oh my god, amazing!
On yoni pearls and yoni eggs and things that you could do, like
yoni wash. There's yoni wash.
You can put
yoni eggs,
and you can put them in. You can put them in so that you can exercise your stuff. And so, I love Regina Hall, and she was talking to Jimmy Fallon about putting yoni eggs in to tighten, her stuff. And so, so when you say, my mind went immediately to the accessories that, that are popular.
Yeah, totally.
It's like a gym for your Kegels.
Hey, man.
It's very goopy. It's Gwyneth Paltrow would definitely be selling this.
And it's healthy. Very goopy. It's healthy and it's natural. That's the thing people gotta remember. It's healthy and it's natural. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Now, in reference to that, there's always this thing where men are shy to approach toys to a woman. What's your stance on that?
Oh, interesting. So I feel like I'm a little, I don't know, like I don't use toys with my partner very often. And I feel like it's kind of the same. It's just like I'm the best master of this toolkit. So like when I'm having sex with him, I kind of just want to have sex with him. But I think like if that's what you both want, I think it's great. He is a little, I don't think, crazy about it. I think he's like, why do we need this extra thing? And also, I'm totally cool, like being a feral masturbator just all by myself. I don't need anybody to see that necessarily.
That's a neat term, feral masturbator. I enjoy that.
Just an FYI.
Not as cute when a guy does it.
A lot of her stand-up comedy talks about, which again, raunchy as hell. I love it so much. If you guys if you guys love dirty jokes, you need to check Courtney out. She is incredibly funny.
Courtney, do you have any shows coming up? Do you have anything coming up?
I just did the Burbank Comedy Festival, but I don't have any Zoom shows coming. I can't wait till stand-up comes back for real.
Right. No, I can't. I went to a lot of shows during the festival, but unfortunately, I wish I had known your name, because when now that I see him, like I did remember seeing the name, because I performed there in this Zoom climate. I've been performing there, but not for the festival. I performed in their volunteer showcase, and the next week in the Wittiest Women. But I could swear that I saw your name, but I didn't just because names stick out. So names stick out. But I just didn't know that we would eventually have on the broadcast, because I'm sure you were on shows with some of the other women that I was there. Lindsay Loon and Valerie, just all these women, Dana, everybody.
That was the Flappers one, right? Okay.
So we'll keep us. Let us know. Like, we want to definitely big up you. I just looked at the time. Like, okay, we're getting ready to wrap up.
I mean, I my first open mic at Flappers, I wanted to get in the spirit, so I taped my boobs down. So,
oh boy.
Nick
you have to make sure they're flat.
Started OnlyFans in the comments, and I just want to let everyone know I already did that.
Right. With the last, I know we don't have a lot of time, but where's like, do you want to share, Courtney, about your OnlyFans?
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So here's the short version of that story. Basically, when the George Floyd stuff went down, I just felt frustrated about like, what can I do that's bigger than just myself a little bit. And I saw this other comedian, Sarah Mowry, had, and I think she got the idea from like that brush fire, the girl that did it for the brush fires. But basically she was like, if you send me your receipt that shows that you donated to Black Lives Matter, I will send you a tit pic. So I basically did the same thing with my nudes. Right. And I was floored. I raised $33,000, and I was a hard ass. Like, if they didn't have a legit receipt, I was like, I'm sorry, go back and get another receipt and come back, and then I'll send it to you. So I thought that was incredible. And then I was like, Jesus, do people want this content from me? So I did start an OnlyFans. It's Coco Peep Show is my handle. And I actually love it because I love exhibitionism, and I'm kind of turned on by it myself. And I'm still donating 10% to Movement for Black Lives. So I want to, kind of keep that going too.
Wow. Well, we want to have you back. I would, just again, with the next show you have, whatever, we want to have you back. I think, because are you familiar with, there's a great documentary series on Netflix called Explained. And
yes, I've seen a couple episodes. I heard you talk about that. Yeah.
Right. And there's the female orgasm explained. Have you seen that episode?
Oh, I haven't seen that episode. I got to check it out.
Is that where Ben Shapiro says it doesn't exist, or?
It could, I haven't watched it in a while, but they had statistics, they had so much good stuff, and and I think that's your homework, Courtney, until I see you again. Watch the female orgasm explained, because I think there's something there that you could connect with in terms of just, because I was so blown away. They
awesome.
Thought women were crazy. They were putting women in it. It was just all kind of.
Yeah, women suffered a lot, dude.
Right, and then bringing it to present, there's a comedian on there who did an experiment, because she said she had never had an orgasm, and so then she was doing kind of the live self-pleasuring to have the orgasm like during like either a podcast. Like it's so good. It's so good. It's so
Ooh, I can't wait to watch. Good rec. Thank you so much. And thank you guys. This has been so fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining. And definitely we want you back in the future.
Love to.
This girl is super kick-ass.
Yes.
Again, guys, if you want to do something for the greater good at the same time while enjoying your hand, Courtney, please. Your hand, your hand will go ahead and be doing something towards the greater good, towards Black Lives Matter. So, come on, guys. OnlyFans.
Come on, put that Nick comment up. Put that last one up. His please one.
Oh my
that's
lord.
good.
Come on. It's wordplay. Please come back.
Oh lord. Okay, there you go.
But yeah,
hey, reciprocation is key. Reciprocation.
He ejaculated really fast. Okay, so I was just there you go. He's a premature
Courtney's social media will be on the links below. Again, she's doing this towards a great cause. And
Private Parts Unknown, right? Podcast.
Talk about an enjoyable experience towards something good. So,
Bye. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.